Hi guys, welcome back. Here's a recap of week 5 in competition prep. So, last week we finally saw the scales move. Bitch, they were sitting in those 65s for like the longest time. So we've entered week 6 now. We're in the 64s consistently and it is nice. I'm slowly seeing the changes to my body. I had a posing session with Tay this morning, which was so cool. We've refined my routine a little bit after the show on the weekend, and she's made some creative changes, which I love. And she's like, bitch, you look good. Like she noticed that I've leaned down since she saw me last. And that's good to hear. Like I'm feeling a little bit better. It's been slowly but surely. But let's recap last week. So last week I sort of spoke about how I explained to Rob, like, look, things haven't really moved. I expect they would have. And he did exactly what I said I would have done with my client. And he's told me if things haven't changed by Friday, let me know. But by that point, we were in the 64s. So food got kept the same all last week. I did have like a random fluctuation back up to the high 64s because I was sitting around the low to mid 64s like end of last week over the weekend. So he has actually made a push with my calories this week, so I'm down to 1850, I think, which is still chill. Like I was at 1950, he's just knocked 100 calories off, primarily just carbs and like 2 grams of fat, so like nothing really noticeable. And yeah, today is my first full day on those calories, but I'm expecting that will start to speed things up a little bit more. We're still actually now ahead of where I started my last prep. I'm pretty sure day 1 of prep last year, we went straight down to 1800 calories from memory. Don't quote me, but it was around there. So, we're already in like a better position that way. But last week, I spoke about like struggling with the scales not moving a little bit. But now I'm like a bit more relaxed. I think once I get to like the 61s-ish, I'll feel better. It's just I was like, oh my God, everything's not moving, and like I've got ages. I've got heaps of time until like we need to be worried. And Rob obviously knows what he's been doing. He's been doing it for like 15 years, lol. So I don't know. Like I touched on in my other video, comparing it to last prep, it's different, but like I've just put that out of my mind now. It's just like this is a whole different time. It's a different prep, so it's gonna be different. And that's like accepting that, I think, took the good first month of this process. So yeah, that is what it is, but it is good. Things are moving now. My steps are still at 13,000, which I've got my little step pad, so I easily get them. And if I'm not on that, I often go for a walk in the morning with Soph, usually Brie and Liam as well, which is great. Like that gets me pretty well all my steps like by 8 a.m. and that's epic. Then I can just sit at my desk all day. But otherwise, last week I have been just, I don't know, like I don't have heaps of shit on anymore like I used to. I don't like even work in a gym now, so I'm at home a lot of the time. It has been like a busy business-fueled few weeks, so like more so with like back-end systems and refining things, which is like boring admin stuff, right? But we've now got 2 coaches on the team, which I haven't even like announced to the public yet, but we've got 2 coaches on the team now, so there's been a lot, as you can imagine, going into training and just making sure that the client journey is exactly the same with them as it would be with me, la-di-la-di-la. So there's been a lot of that and just back-end accountant stuff and not the things I ever expected I would be doing as a job, but here we all are. So there's been a lot of that. I have been a little bit slack with my mobility, if I'm completely honest. I'm subscribed to like the Mobility Collective now, go Caitlin. So I'm doing that. Meant to be doing 4 sessions a week of that because my, overhead range and stuff with my posing is just not great. So we've got a new block of that this week and I'm doing it. I've been just putting everything else before it, like steps, prep, training, posing. They've all been sweet. Mobility is just like that other like 1% that, I'll kick myself if I don't do it. It's like this entire year I'm putting my travel on hold. I'm putting a lot of other life things on hold for this season because that's what I always set out to do. So like I'm investing in this thing that I basically haven't been using, which some people do that as well with like other things. But that's not who I am, and I'm making it a priority now. So that is going to help me enormously with my posing, especially as the weeks go on and, you know, I'm sorer and I'm tighter and I'm just exhausted. It is needed. So that is a big focus for me this week and going forward. And yeah, last weekend, like I pretty well, I'm a Monday to Friday girl now, lol. So through the week was rinse and repeat. Over the weekend, again, didn't do much. Just sort of like D&D, do not talk to me. I just want to, like, I spend my entire life on a computer and on my phone. I just get exhausted of like looking at it. So I just usually just go ghost, reset myself for the week and do not much. I'll study actually. So I do study the weekend typically. So yeah, always learning, queen. If you ever stop learning, that's when you decide that that's your cap. So love that. But no, otherwise, on Saturday, so I was studying, but also intently watching the FMG Gold Coast show. So I didn't go. I was going to, but then I was like, you know what? 2 birds, 1 stone. I can train, do my steps, do everything while I'm watching it. So I did that. But yeah, that was epic. It was really cool to watch. And yeah, it was a great show. Fuck, some of the lineups were competitive, like wildness. But it was really cool because I was like, oh my God, next time that'll be me on the live stream. Like the next Australian show, that will be me. So yeah. Oh, that moves into my next topic. So I have pretty well 90% like decided on the shows I'm going to do. I'm definitely doing Worlds. Like that's locked in, right? Doing Worlds, it's going to be great. That's in October. We already covered that. I am now pretty set on New Zealand. It's September. It's, you know, basically 4 weeks before Worlds. Have a go, see how things look, and then I've got 4 weeks to refine and then start my reverse. Post-Worlds, I would say. And then, yeah, then I've got my client retreat and other things like that to look forward to. So that is where my head's at. So it looks like we're doing NZ and Worlds. Now, I don't know the exact, like, weeks to go until New Zealand. It's the 12th of September, I know that much. So it'll be in first week of May, so June, July, August, September. No. Oh, but we're only at the start of May, so it's pretty well, like, just under, yeah, I don't know. It'd be, like, just under 20 weeks, I would say. 19, 18 weeks or something. So plenty of time, given that we're, you know, 3.5 kilos down. And we've got like 9 to go. I'm pretty chill. I'm happy that we'll be there. So yeah, that's the plan, queen. So I finally come to it. I may you know, it's just so hard to know. I don't want to sit here and say I might do New Zealand and just be like, you know what? Nah, we'll do Worlds. I have to do 2. But you know, I could do Worlds and then I'm real sweet with that. Like I don't want to sit here and say, oh, I'm going to go on and do, you know, Thailand. I was toying with that afterwards, but you know, if I get to stage right and I'm just not competitive, there's no point then. Like if I can see that I'm not competitive after Worlds, I've already done NZ and Worlds, there's no point doing a 3rd show. Like I clearly need to go back and refine stuff. Or I could have great success in those first 2 shows. So that's where my head's at. I'm going to keep the shows a bit more local and then like later in the year, like after the shows, like potentially go somewhere. I know we're going to Tassie for Chrissy this year, which would be good since I was away last year. But we're planning an America trip, like US trip next year, like a pretty big one. So I'm actually sort of keen to keep the competing like travel a bit on the low end. So that rules out Texas because we'll probably go there next year, and going all the way to Texas in prep, not being able to eat or do the stuff, like it's just, yeah, not really a priority of mine. So that's where that's at. We've locked our shows in, which is great. They were what we initially thought they were going to be. So love an indecisive queen. Otherwise, yeah, I don't really have anything for you. What the hell is going on with my hair? My earrings are in my hair. Yeah. I think that's all. This week ahead, what do I got to look forward to? I've had posing today, so I'll probably be freaking sore tomorrow. My back was killing me, so that's just an indicator I need to do it more and push myself that bit more. But God, when you're posing like either face-to-face or with your coach, like over Zoom, Loom, whatever, you push yourself so much more. I find when I do it, like it still hurts, but it hurts in a different way because Tay makes me hold things longer than I do. So that's something I need to practice because, you know, you need, what's that word? You need like that thing that you need when you run, like stamina. So you need a stamina, especially on stage if it's a tough lineup. So that's the other priority that we're working on. But yeah, it's good to be feeling pretty good. I think by this time next week, we'll definitely have seen, I don't want to jinx it, but I would expect that things will keep moving into at least the low 64s, I would say, given that Rob's like made such a big push down to like a bigger push. I think we only dropped like 80 or 50 calories last time. I can't remember. So yeah, 100 calories down. I expect that things will move a bit quicker now, which is good, but otherwise lovely. So I don't think I have anything for you. That's pretty well the prep update of the week. I'll probably have forgotten something, but anyways, live, laugh, love. We're bringing that out. It's 2010 again. I will talk with you next week. Catch you, Queenie.